edition of Halftime is Showtime. Yeah, we decided to have a special edition based on all of the awesome stuff that's been going on in the band community this past weekend. So that's why we're here with you now. Once again, my name is Linnell Goodwin.
I'm Jared.
Samantha Terry.
All right. And we're here with the dish and all the stuff that's been going on. So let's get right to it. This past weekend, and will probably be the only topic of the entire show because there's so much to cover with just this alone, is the 1-800-411-PAIN band. Battle of the Band, original. Okay, let's try that again. The 1-800-411-PAIN.
Original.
Battle of the Bands. It happened this past weekend. That's right. The one that was originally postponed for inclement weather.
Yay!
And so it finally went down, and it went down this past weekend at Lakewood Stadium. All right. So Samantha, tell us who was. Well, first of all, before we even get into that, I want to get. What's going on there? Okay, I want to give kudos to Eugene and his team for pulling it off, you know, giving the community yet again another avenue to express themselves, for the kids to go out and express themselves and perform, and, you know, giving just another event for the community to indulge in within the arts, all right? So, Samantha, tell us who was there and who was supposed to be there, who wasn't there, and all that stuff. Give us the list.
Okay, so as far as high schools go, at Westlake High School,
Yay!
Kip Wade's, Kip Collegiate.
Kip
Collegiate. That's the high school. I forget they have several schools. Douglas High School, Mount Zion's percussion section, Redan High School, Stone Mountain High School, Clarkston, and Tower. So pretty much you have everybody from Stone Mountain and the West Side.
Right.
And Mount Zion.
And Mount Zion. That's the wild card.
It was slated that Best Academy, Cedar Grove, Forest Park, and Mays were supposed to be there, but they did not make it. So as far as collegiate attendance, get this right, incomparable FAMU was there, and Talladega.
Is that right? Incomparable? It's not incomparable? It is incomparable, huh? Holy smokes. Continue, please.
So the two collegiate bands that were supposed to be, according to the flyer, head-to-head versus each other, Talladega College and Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University Marching 100. So this is their first time being back in Atlanta for 3 years now. So it was a big deal for them.
Did you go? Which one of us went? I didn't go.
No.
Okay, well, I went because I had my band director hat on. You know, I was there with my high school band. So, yes, I was in attendance.
In the event it rained, I didn't want to get there.
Yeah, because, you know, the whole inclement weather thing,
I was like,
it's just too much, you know?
They were doing a sale. They did.
Tell us about the sale. Tell us about the sale.
So you could attend the 1-800-411-PAIN original Battle of the Bands. 2 for $1. $12 tickets. If you show like the little flyer.
Got BOGO on the brain.
Do you know if tickets were honored if you bought them for last
Oh, and that's a good question.
I do believe they were. I believe they were. I believe they were honored. Once again, the question was, do you think if the tickets that they bought for the postponed one was honored this weekend? And I believe it was. I wouldn't see why it would not have been. So I do believe it was honored for this weekend.
So was it a full house? How?
It wasn't a full house. You know, it wasn't a full house. It was very hot that day, and
So what do you mean?
yeah, it was very hot that day. So, you know, people may have decided to stay home, but it was a good attendance. I'll say it was a good attendance for Lakewood Stadium. Because, you know, Lakewood Stadium, the new and improved, is a pretty big stadium. So it was a large stadium. Then you have to take into account that about 4 to 6 of the original bands that were slated were not there. So that means their following probably decided not to go as well. So yeah, I thought it was pretty well attended, to be totally honest. I thought it was.
It looks like everybody was coming from Stone Mountain.
Right. Yeah. Weren't they coming from Stone Mountain?
Literally. So, but no, I did not attend.
Well, since I was there, I can give you kind of an account. You know, I try to give a very unbiased account of what was going on or what went through my head originally. Of course, Westlake went on. Westlake always can do no wrong in my eyes. Yeah, I can do.
It's not biased at all, is it?
It's not biased, you know. It's very unbiased and fair.
Okay.
But no, it was their first time, and these aren't excuses. It was their first time with the uniforms on, so their sound wasn't where it usually is or where it probably could have been. A lot of bands there performed with no hats, without the Shakos and the full uniform because it was just so hot. Or they performed with no jacket on or something like that. But Westlake, shout out to those Westlake kids. They're so awesome, you know. They did a great job. Wonderful job. Kip surprised me. They were a wild card.
How big? See, and one of our parks is in the area, so over there because we have events and games. And I saw, or what I thought was a band or a group ensemble of people with instruments. I didn't know it was Kip's band. So how big are they? Kip's
band, I want to say, and those people who are looking at the camera, don't be mad if I misguesstimate. They were about 60 horns, and a bulk of that was brass. So they surprised me. They shocked me because, like you, I didn't know that Kip had a band. You know, and that's no offense. I just was not privy to that information. So when I saw them, and then they actually sounded pretty good, you know, I was surprised. So
do you know who the band director
kudos to Kip. Oh my, I don't know who the band director is. It's so unfortunate because we actually had a parking lot battle afterwards with Kip, Westlake and Kip, and just waiting for those videos to come out because it was really exciting and fun.
You can't find any clips from the battle of the band.
It's crazy.
Well, the ones we can find.
We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that later.
We can't find any of the high schools. Like, and I really was, and that's bad because, you know, I personally like to go to the events and actually watch and give I'm a fan watching, but you know,
yeah, you know, and that happens, you know. But I'll talk a little bit more about that later. Doug, I was totally shocked. They're doing what they can over there, but obviously there's some stuff that's going on at Doug. Doug had about 15 people on the field, tops, total.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and see,
so heartbreaking.
It is heartbreaking because growing up, it was always Maze and Doug. The two big dogs in APS that you did not want to see any day of the week. And they had 15 members tops on the field. If they spread out, they probably would not have gone from the 40 past the 40 to 40.
The school is going through gentrification, and it's not even their fault.
Yeah, it probably isn't their fault.
Like,
I'm sure it's not.
They have, and it's nothing bad because I'm an APS product, but you have Maze up the street, you have Kip up the street, which is literally right next door behind them. Then you have Best Academy for boys. You have Coretta Scott King Academy for girls. So you have all these schools outlining where Doug used to pick and get these kids from. And now it's like we're going everywhere else.
And then, like, within APS, they're doing this thing, and you can probably speak more on that, where they've separated the actual school into smaller schools. So it's like a university within a high school where you have different schools.
And principals.
And different principals. And I've heard that puts a humongous stress on the music programs because if there's no specific school for the arts like Carver has, then there's really no place to house the band. And so you have kids who are on these different tracks. If there's no specific music or arts related track, where do they go?
There's no focus.
There's no focus. And the principals, I heard from personal account that there are some times where the band might perform and the kids have to go and get a sign off from each principal of each school. And then you have these principals who may not even sign off on it. So it's like they're destroying the programs. And with I see the focus or what they're trying to do over there by trying to make them little universities. But in theory, it might work, but it's not really working out the best for fine arts, you know?
That sounds like too much stress on these kids.
Right. It is.
I need all, and I'm a former, I can say this, marching Astro. I did March for Douglas High School.
You marched for Douglas? Really?
7th, 8th grade.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Well, look at you.
I got my experience.
She's an Astro. Astro. She's an Astro.
Stop.
Wow. That's kind of like an Astro alum.
No.
You're a Doug alum.
No.
Who would have known?
Okay, so you go too far.
So all those people out there who went to Doug, make sure you contact her and get back up with her because she wants to hear from you.
No, what
all Doug alums, stand up.
No, what I want is for everybody to take a genuine caring for their program. See, and I'm not saying that at Mays we are completely different because we're not a band school, but there are certain things we don't allow to happen. And I'm not saying you all allow them to happen because you can only do so much, but I think there should be more alumni
support,
giving and saying, hey, look, this is, because I remember homecoming, the Mays Doug games, those were like,
shut it down.
So it's sad, like it's really sad.
Yeah, I went to a Fulton County school. I'm a product of Fulton County, and everybody in the whole city of Atlanta, or really in Georgia, knew about the Doug and Doug and Mays games, and the Doug and Washington games, and the Mays and Washington games. Those were the 3 schools in the city, and those bands used to always hit it or whatnot. So it's just really sad. And just piggybacking on what Samantha says, we've got to support these programs. You know what I'm saying? Just the fact that there are no clips of the high school bands on YouTube, that whomps. That means that there's little or no support for what the high school bands are doing. That speaks volumes. And how can we expect the higher ups to care and
take us seriously,
right? And take us seriously if we don't support each other. All right. So we gotta stop. We gotta start supporting each other with the crap. Well, I was about to do a nasty plug. I was about to do a shameless plug that I wasn't even trying to do. But we gotta start supporting each other and coming to these events and supporting the craft, boys and girls. All right, and ladies and gentlemen. All right. Moving on though.
So you said that Doug had about 50 people on the field.
About 15.
How did they sound? Like they had 15 people on the field?
Yeah, probably like 15 people on the field.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
And if you pull a Doug clip from, you ain't got to go back to 89.
No, you don't have to go that far. Vanderbilt Moody era.
Right. Mr. Moody.
Mr. Moody. Gosh. But anyway, then Mount Zion, they brought their percussion section. They're also going through some things as well. Let me just get you hip to what's going on in Clayton County. Mount Zion High School was the performing arts school in Clayton County, all right? So all the kids who were there, a part of that music program, were probably in that performing arts magnet. Well, Clayton County decided to open a specific performing arts school, a school of the arts, right across the street from Mount Zion. So what happens?
That's petty.
All of those students go to this new School of the Arts. So now Mount Zion has pretty much 15 people. So what the band director there is trying to do, she's trying to regroup, she's trying to rebuild, but in the meantime, she's still trying to get the kids out there by at least sending somebody out there as representation for Mount Zion.
So does this new school have a marching band? Or?
No, it's a performing arts, specifically a school of the arts. No band, no performing art. No marching band.
Okay.
And usually, whenever there's a magnet school like that, they don't allow those students to march. Like I know with Tri-Cities, they have a arts magnet school. If you're a part of the dance, if you're part of that dance fine arts thing,
you can't do the dance thing.
Yeah, you can't be on the dance team with the band. So there are schools who do that. So good luck to Goodwin out there. I'm serious. That's her name, Jakia Goodwin, who is the new band director at Mount Zion High School.
My kid.
Yeah, that's one of our people. That's one of our people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's one of us. She's one of our people.
She's a lead.
Yeah, so she is the new band director. We'll leave that there. Just leave that there, smoking hot. But yeah, she's one of our people. So big ups to her for doing what she's trying to do. I think she's going about it the complete right way. Don't let the program die out. Just keep putting the kids out there and keep showing your face.
Somebody may say we want to see the percussion section do something,
right,
and invite them back.
That's how you build, and that's how you recruit.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, there we go. And if you need anything from Band Room Nation, let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah. All right. And then there was Redan. All right. Redan was there as well. Now, Redan was in their full, robust, regular self. Regular old Redan self. I think that the sun may have taken a toll on Redan because Redan's show is extremely slow. And Redan is known for the explosive, energetic,
Mr. Moore, like, he starts with his energy and the kids follow.
Yeah, they feed off of Mr. Moore's energy. That's the guy that I always know is the one who jumped off the ladder at Jamboree. Mr. Moore. That's what everybody knows this guy as. And so for the longest in DeKalb County, the most energetic bands were Redan and Columbia, because those band directors
are
explosive, right? So it was kind of weird seeing Redan at that slow, lethargic kind of tempo, you know. But I'll just accredit that to the heat, yeah, the sun and all that stuff. I'm telling you, it was hot out there. That's why people weren't there. It was hot. All right. Also, goodness, I'm almost done. I know I'm talking a lot, but I was the only one that was there because I was with the band or whatever. Stone Mountain did a very stand-up job. I will tell you, I was shocked because I was expecting, I guess, to see the Jamboree Stone Mountain. Now, the Jamboree, the new improved Jamboree Stone Mountain, is the one who was about 125, 150 deep. And when I saw them, they were pretty much regular old Stone Mountain. You know,
smaller?
Yeah, they were small. They went back to small Stone Mountain. However, they did have a good sound, you know, and they did a really nice field show. They made a sailboat on the field, and they sailed the boat down the field. You know, it was really cool. So big ups to Stone Mountain. Oh man, something like, was it Fantastic Voyage? Something about a voyage, you know, and they made a boat. Classic FAMU move.
Listening to V103, and they had Stone Mountain at the McDonald's. But when she said the whole band had come, I was like, damn, that don't sound right. Like,
right.
But if you're saying they were smaller, and then they showed the actual clips because you can live stream it, and it was like tubas and trombones in the McDonald's. I was like, oh, okay. Huh, I wonder what happened there.
Yeah. Clarkston, unfortunately I wasn't able to see Clarkston's entire show because we went on right after them, but Clarkston was also not the same big, huge Clarkston. They were pretty much average Clarkston, but they still had really good instrumentation, and from what I heard, they still sounded pretty good. And then Towers was, they were pretty good, you know, they were okay. They were very small.
Where is Towers?
I don't even know where Towers is located.
I can tell you where all the other schools are in DeKalb County.
I've never been to Towers.
I cannot.
I've never been to Towers. Where is Towers?
Kevin Lewis, where is Towers?
You got Google?
I mean, okay, so we need somebody to tell us immediately where
is Towers. But the thing is, DeKalb County has like 40 high schools.
Yeah.
So if
it could be in some nook and cranny, just anywhere.
Right there, you pass it every time. Don't even know.
Right.
Oh, that was just. I thought it was Gresham Park. No, it's a high school. What?
You're absolutely right. Like, I've never seen Towers before in my life. Not in passing or anything. Like, you pass Cedar Grove, you pass McNair, never Towers.
And you said that they sounded okay.
Yeah, you know, they did what they could, you know, with the numbers they had. You know, shout out to their band director as well. I know her first name, and I'm trying to think of her last name. Anyway, Sean, you know, big ups to her.
Okay, so judging by this, this is one of the first band competitions that a whole bunch of high school Atlanta bands have been in for this year. What is the state, in your opinion, of Atlanta high school marching bands?
My opinion, well, actually, I'll defer this to Samantha first because I've been talking a lot.
As far as you said Atlanta, or or you saying Metro Atlanta?
Well, it was more than Metro Atlanta high schools in there, right?
Well, if you say Atlanta, I'm thinking Atlanta. If you say Metro,
like APS.
Okay, then Metro Atlanta.
Okay, so Metro. I think bands are flourishing here. Actually, I don't think it's as bad as we thought. You know, coming in because, you know, we didn't have precision camp or a big camp where the kids actually get on, we can engage. I do think what Linnell said as far as the principals, that does play a factor with APS. And DeKalb County is so different because all the band directors have a support system. They support each other. We can say this. They support one another and they have a common thing. Right. So, but APS is it's so separate. It's weird. I don't know if it's like that with Clayton or Fulton.
Well, there are other hurdles that they're trying to jump over in Clayton. You know, just a lot of politics going on with Clayton. The band directors in Clayton they're very supportive of each other as well. Shout out to the Clayton band directors. The Fulton County band directors are very supportive of each other as well. I believe the Fulton County bands are flourishing as well. If you notice, Creekside has been a pretty good size average band, you know, in the 90s or 80s range. Westlake has been growing every single year, so they're flourishing as well. Banneker, I believe if Banneker could get a steady band director, they would be flourishing as well by now, but they just can't get a steady hand over there.
Well, they got a good person over there now, so.
Yeah.
But it's so weird that everybody, like, there are different band directors each year, but I always have friends who graduate who can't get jobs working as band directors. So I'm so confused on this shortage of band directors.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that works, you know. But anyway, Langston is doing pretty good as well in Fulton County. So, you know, I do believe that we are better off, like Samantha said, than we were. I think the key thing that we are missing, which is what Samantha kind of hinted on, she said that the DeKalb County bands are flourishing because they support one another. The support is the big thing, all right? Support. Not just band directors. First of all, we got to stop blaming each other. You got band directors blaming kids. They don't want to be in the band. You got the band, the kids blaming band directors, saying band is lame and we want it to be cool. Then you got other people blaming politicians and all this stuff. We got to stop passing the blame and start doing what we can do to make sure that the craft flourishes, all right? So that means supporting each other and doing our part as students in the band to make it better. And then directors doing your part as band directors to get these kids back interested, okay? Because I can speak personally as to why Westlake grows every year, because we do things that the kids are interested in, and we do things to get them interested in band. So, you know, band directors, the day and the age when kids just fall in your lap and come knocking on the band door wanting to be a part of the band is over. Because that whole drumline craze is over. So now you actually have to do stuff, you know, and get out there and
just make it fun again.
Yeah, make it fun again. And I know you can get burned out because I know what it's like being a teacher and all that stuff. But I guess you just have to, you know, think about what you want.
Or find your passion again.
Find your passion again, you know. And I know it sounds easier said than done. And I know there are some other things like the whole principal thing that get in your way, or administrations that don't.
Financial money's coin not being dropped in your bucket. We know. I totally get that.
Right. But let's just start doing what we can do, you know, to make sure the craft flourishes and make sure these kids have a great experience to where they'll come back and then get other kids involved, you know?
Okay. That answers my question.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Alright, so with that being said, let's take a break. And before we take a break, I do want to say that Band Room Nation is hosting on October 5th Vanguard Invitational Showcase. Once again, that's Vanguard Invitational Showcase, where 9 of the elite bands from around the southeastern area will converge on Atlanta back in Lakewood Stadium round 2 for an invitational showcase. Now, the reason why we call it an invitational showcase is because it's not your regular Battle of the Bands, you know, model. It's a little bit different. We tweak it. We like to take it to the next step here at Band Room Nation. So it's going to be a complete production, and we hope to see you there. We'll talk about the bands that are going to be there when we come back to Halftime is
Showtime.
Yay.
We're back to Halftime is Showtime. All right. So yeah, once again, the participating bands in Vanguard, and I'm sure you've seen the flyers and things like that.
And the promo that just ran.
And the promo that we have been running like crazy, trying to get people to get back into the spirit of marching band. We have Forest Park High School out of Clayton County. We have Monroe High School out of Clayton County. We have North Atlanta from Atlanta Public Schools. We have Mundy's Mill from Clayton County. We have Tri-Cities High School from Fulton County. We have Westlake High School from Fulton County. We have Jonesboro from Clayton County. And then we have a nice little wild card coming from out of town. That is Keenan High School from South Carolina. Curveball, right? Yeah. So, I think we have a pretty decent lineup.
From Orangeburg, or?
I have no idea. That's really sad. We need to find out where Keenan is. How about we find out where? So, all right. So we need to find out where Towers.
Columbia.
Oh, there we go. It said Columbia. That's what happens when I take off my glasses.
Columbia.
So Keenan, South Carolina is from Columbia, South Carolina. All right. So that's where our wild card is coming from, and we have a pretty solid lineup. We don't have the big, huge, robust bands, but we have bands that are pretty much average size that are sure to put on an electrifying show. If you haven't seen Mundy's Mill lately, perhaps maybe you missed their Jamboree performance where they went completely off on the band they were facing and made everybody get up. And then you have the...
Didn't Monday's Mail play against Clark Atlanta's Tubas?
Yeah. Yeah. Monday's Mill played against Clark Atlanta's Tubas.
And handed them a nice L. It was, they wrapped it up. It was pretty.
It was beautiful.
Said, hey.
It was beautiful.
Like, hey.
So they're going to be there. Forest Park, which is another explosive band who went against the enlarged Stone Mountain at Jamboree, they're going to be there as well. So I'm interested to see what they're going to bring. Morrow, who's always been one of Clayton County's best, is going to be there. Shouts out to Walt McKelvey, band director over there. Then, of course, there's Westlake. It's not a party without Westlake. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This guy.
Yeah. And then there's Tri-Cities, who's knocking right at the door of 200 members, 225 members. They always put on an explosive performance as well. And then we have Jonesboro, who's small but very entertaining. North Atlanta, who's very creative and entertaining as well.
I love their girls.
Yeah, see? He loves their girls.
I love their girls.
There we go. So we have a really diverse lineup, and I'm interested to see what they have to show for us,
I'm interested in this. But you know what? I was looking at Vanguard. My favorite thing about Vanguard is before the show, there's going to be a whole tailgate thing with vendors and booths that you can buy.
Cotton candy?
There will be cotton candy. There's going to be
jump house and barbecue and
jump house.
There's going to be a bounce house. Aren't you excited?
Inflatables.
Inflatables!
I'm ready.
There's going to be inflatable flailing arm tube man from Family Guy. All right, he's not going to be there for real. But there will be inflatables. And guess what? We're even going to have a mechanical bull out there.
Yes.
So you and your inner thoughts can go and get on
the
there.
U-bar. You can practice for the U-bar.
Oh my God. And there's a children's setting all the way up to adult setting.
And for those who want to be strippers one day,
hey,
you gotta practice.
Wait a minute. What are you talking about?
We're trying to get all kind of diverse people here, right? Are we trying to open
practice
this up?
for the U-bar.
There we go. So there is a child setting, so all the children can get on as well. And, just have a great time. There's going to be food vendors, retail vendors, games,
shows,
performances and shows and all kinds of stuff. So I'm just really excited about that. I'm really excited about that. And Band Room Nation is so going to turn up a notch, all right? So if you want more information on that, visit our Facebook page, which is Band Room Nation. Well, Facebook / Band Room Nation, all that stuff. Search on Band Room Nation. And then also the website, bandroomnation.com. And then just click on the Vanguard is Coming icon, all right? So that's all you got to do. So let's move on, all right? The colleges that were in place. This is what you've been waiting for. The colleges that were at the 1-800-411-PAY.
The college and university.
Oh, you gotta make that distinction. All right. The college and the university that was in attendance at the 1-800-411-PAY original Battle of the Bands. We had FAMU and we had Talladega. So I don't know how we're gonna do this. Do you want me to?
Well, I mean,
do you want live accounts first, or do we want to talk about the clips that actually surfaced? How do we want to do this?
Did you get the field show I saw of both where it was a full?
Okay, so let's talk about the field shows first. What did you think, Samantha?
First, FAMU, that was like the longest field show ever. It was like 26 minutes. And they beat North Carolina A&T at that Queen City thing, right? That's like, so it was like 26 long American minutes. 26 minutes.
I must have saw a truncated version because I didn't.
It was 26 minutes.
I was wondering why I didn't see any dance girls out there.
They had 3 feet. They don't have.
No. She's talking about FAMU now.
FAMU.
Not Talladega.
Not Talladega.
I'm talking about FAMU too.
They don't have dance girls.
I thought they had somebody in the stands. Oh yeah, that's their student organization.
You talking about the Diamond?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not.
Were they here?
No,
I saw somebody in all black on the field though.
It was probably it wasn't them. All right. What happened was the high school bands went around to watch the college bands, so you may have seen high school band dancers. They don't have any dancers.
Let me from my notes. Okay, the show was long. They did not sound full to me.
Yeah, that's what happens when you get cut for like 300 members.
But I mean, they even with schools that size, they
You're right.
they just didn't sound full. I don't know if it was the arrangement. Certain songs sound great, certain ones didn't.
Now, what it could have been, it could have possibly been. Now, I know when they went off, or when FAMU went away for that year, when they came back, did they only have freshmen and sophomore? Like, how did that work? Were those older people kicked out? Because it may be the maturity of sound.
Because the drum majors were there then.
Okay.
And I remember 3 of the drum majors they named. I just know specifically they were there then.
Okay.
So,
so they didn't gut the band out.
No, I don't think they.
Okay.
I
don't know then.
So, let me see. Latch. I like that they played Latch because that was
Sam Smith is a dog, you know.
Yeah.
That's my dog. Shout out to the UK.
It's a group that starts with R.D. That's actually their song, and Sam Smith is singing
Oh.
on it.
Okay.
But I feel bad for not knowing it because I actually downloaded this.
Whatever.
The opening fanfare.
It wasn't there.
It was and I guess because if you expect something,
Yeah.
your expectations were there. So that was probably my fault for expecting it to sound a certain way. But the opening fanfare, it didn't do anything for me.
Is this their first time performing outside the state lines?
No. Oh, well, outside of the state lines, that might be true. Because I think the only other place they performed was University of Miami. So this might be their first time out of state lines, seriously.
And then, of course, it's their first time back in Atlanta.
Yeah,
so
3
maybe
years.
they were feeling some pressure.
I mean,
And another reason why they may have been feeling some pressure is because
And
there's
you said it was
huge,
hot.
and there's the fact that there's a 250-member collegiate band that was there that was gunning for their heads. Talk about pressure, but we'll talk about that later.
I will say, I'm trying to be real brief. For Latch, I love the sousaphones and the trombone parts until they start moving. Where you can, like when they start doing, I think the little squares, the diamonds, the sound got lost a little there. Love Never Felt So Good. Trumpets. I think I don't like the trumpets at all this year. I'm gonna say that flat out. They weren't doing anything for me. Absolutely not. The song that was after that, I can't think of it, but it was a real catchy song. I liked it. Congratulations, trombones and French horns did an awesome job. Kings and Victims. Now this is probably the best song that they played the whole time. The march. And that's the thing, it's like FAMU, if nothing else, their marches will always be on.
We're gonna give you a march.
Clarinets, piccolos. Thank you. They were awesome.
Clarinets were blazing.
They were awesome. I didn't like the trumpets in there. I don't know. It was just like so.
Yeah.
The march was awesome. Our God, isn't that what it's called?
Yeah.
See, this is where I first saw it. I didn't see the full
Oh
thing.
yeah. So they had 3.
They did 3 things in concert formation.
The harmony was great, but you know how what was it? Whenever they had the trombone girl singing, it was a Total Praise, and it was a full band, and it was like a choir, and Ebenezer Baptist Church, and everybody from Word of Faith, and all. It just sounded like a really large. It wasn't as full, but you could tell that they're rebuilding.
Yeah.
It was overall brand new day, but from the Wiz, that was good.
It was cute.
And I guess when the show turned into the FAMU Talladega College University Marching Band of the South.
Oh my God, I can't wait to talk about that.
At 2043, but I'm going to leave that at that.
Okay.
And you can give your FAMU account.
Alright, mine's going to be real short and sweet. FAMU, you know, they came on or whatever, and my expectations weren't that high already, I'll be honest, you know, and that's no shade to FAMU at all. I just know that they're not the same FAMU that they were, you know, and a humbling experience can do that to you. So I wasn't really expecting, you know, that same FAMU. However, they still sounded good, and I do believe their performance was entertaining. I think their performance was more entertaining than the 2 collegiate bands in attendance there. I think they reached the crowd more, you know, there was more crowd interaction. They had people singing the whole God song. The dance routine got everybody, you know, up and all of that stuff. So I do think their show was more entertaining. However, they weren't the same FAMU. They were not as sharp as FAMU. They didn't sound as regal as FAMU sounded back then, you know, during those times.
So you know what's crazy though?
What's crazy though?
Because they don't sound like the same FAMU, but they want to pull the settler card.
Hey, I mean,
but you're not.
When you're in trouble, you know, pull the settler card. Because that's the only thing that we have that no other collegiate band has. So we'll always pull that.
But I want you to
to understand.
To be, be that band in 89.
You're right. Right. Hey, we want the best for you. You know what I'm saying? Did you want to give us something about that or no? No.
I just thought that FAMU. I
just thought you saw their girls.
No, I thought they sounded alright.
Okay.
Once again, I agree with you. They sound like they are rebuilding. They sound like they're striving for that earlier sound, the sound that they had when they were making CDs and when they were everywhere on TV and always up here every weekend.
Because it was different.
It was. And I think that's the whole air of confidence type thing. You know, those were musicians who knew they were musicians and who could play their behinds off, and they just were definite about what they were doing and where they were going. You know what I'm saying? That was that arrogant FAMU. But I think this one is a more, stepping on eggshells, not really sure how people are going to take us, not really sure of ourselves, kind of unsure, but wanting the best. I don't know. That's just kind of how I felt about it. So let's go on to Dega. What did you think about Talladega? Careful.
Okay.
Careful now. Careful.
Let's talk. Okay. So everybody knows they have the homage to Southern whatever thing. I personally don't care if they live for Southern or whatever. The field show their love never felt so.
Can I pause you? For people who don't know, what is this homage to Southern?
Well, people accuse or say that Talladega tries to
emulate
Southern University.
Now, didn't their band director, Mr. Bonds, go to Southern?
He did.
Did he march in Southern's band?
He did.
So it's kind of okay then, right? Because usually when band directors go to different bands, they take concepts from the band that they marched in to the...
Okay.
No, I don't think that's okay.
You don't think that's okay?
No.
All right. Well, anyway, go ahead with your...
Well, I mean, okay. Well, okay.
I mean, Eddie Ellis did it.
If you're gonna emulate a band, why not it be Southern?
I would rather...
That's true, too.
Now, if he was out there emulating, I'm the class.
Okay. I would want like a Delaware State band, someone that with a Delaware State to come like Hampton and start bringing Delaware State up to Hampton, because Hampton has tradition and Hampton's doing the same thing since 1989. But Talladega doesn't really have. Why are you laughing? But Talladega doesn't really have things that they've been doing.
They're trying to find it.
Yeah, they're trying to find it. So maybe their thing is.
They're the Renegade Band, if nothing else.
Oh, yeah.
So
catch them in the streets if you want to.
Yeah.
Hey, by yourself, you on y'all.
If they want you, they gonna get you. And fam, you found out this past weekend.
Okay,
you can run and you can hide, but we gonna get you.
So I will say this.
Okay, continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
So both bands played "Love Never Felt So Good," the Michael Jackson song. I would say Talladega's was fuller. Like it was full. I enjoyed theirs more. Dancer feature "Applause" by Lady Gaga. It was like at the tempo of 100 beats per minute. It was just threw me off a little bit.
I loved it.
It threw me off a little bit.
I guess that's the whole Florida Cookman in me.
Yeah,
I love that drive. I loved it.
It was so fast. So a slow feature, "Through the Fire."
They don't have flags, do they?
Playing. I'm gonna be honest. Okay, and because I pull for Talladega, I really do. "Through the Fire" showed where I guess the band was just excited. From my understanding, you all have been playing on every commercial break that they gave you. And I get it. I love enthusiasm, especially for collegiate bands, because that's how you recruit. If the high school kids see that you're excited to play and you're having fun doing it, awesome, great, and that's what you kept doing. But I felt like when you got to your feature, it was like, all right, we're gonna blow and we're gonna keep blowing, and it was oh gosh, intonation problems, the dynamics weren't there. It was just slaughterhouse. I'm pretty sure it could have been a very wonderful arrangement, but there was no balance at all. There was no balance, and this is not, like I said, now you sounded good in Love, and you were marching and moving. And I still felt your full sound, and I heard every part, and I saw all the dynamics and everything. But standing still, playing "Through the Fire," I think your brass thought, okay, we gonna do. It was like going through hell.
It
was bad.
It's like screaming at the audience, doing a ballad,
and it was a love song.
What do you think the cause of that?
It was Shaka Khan, right? "Through the Fire," and that Shaka Khan.
Yeah, that's Shaka.
Do you think the cause of that could be lack of performance or lack of practice? or lack of discipline at practice?
No, I'm pretty sure they practice a lot because they don't, like I said, they sound like Hotel California. I loved it. First off, I thought it was great that they did something so out of the box like that, which I'm sure somebody's going to say, well, you know, Southern plays out of the box songs too.
Yeah,
whatever. But I thought, you know, there were certain things. Talladega played for all. Yeah, you gave those folks all their money's worth.
Yeah, you totally gave them their money's worth, and I guess that'll segue into my account of Talladega. Now, I will say this. I was pleasantly surprised with Talladega. I was entertained. I was entertained. They were very powerful when they were in the stands. They were balanced as far as I heard. We were sitting.
They were all the songs. Yeah. For the most part, they were balanced.
Yeah, and I was really surprised because, you know, with the clips, and I guess with it being early in the season, you have to deal with people being overzealous and just being happy to be back in the atmosphere and being happy with the fact that you have about a 300-piece band and see just how loud you can push it, you know. But now that the season is kind of in and things are dying down, I can see that there are some balanced things being worked on and some actual cleanliness is being worked on, because I'm going to take a lot of flack for this, but they were clean.
They were. No, they were.
Yeah, they were clean. And I love it. Especially applause. There's that run in there. They go da 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 da. I loved it. I was very impressed.
I was confused when I got the field show and they got to the concert selection and they sounded totally different than what they sounded the whole time. So I was just thrown off.
And a ballad is usually a whole different monster anyway. People think ballads are easier because the notes are usually, you know, they're longer duration notes that you're holding and they're longer phrases and all that. But in reality, those ballads can whoop your behind if you're not approaching them the correct way. So I can understand how they could have had some issues on the ballad, especially when they're just so used to punch, 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 punch. So I have to agree with Samantha. The ballad was a little rough, but you know, everything else. And then they did this thing in the field show that I thought was really cool, where they came down the field, did the downfield march, and then they centered themselves off center again. And one of my students was like, "Oh, they did it again. They're off center." And I was like, "Wow, okay." So even the kids noticed it. And then at the very last minute, they did a pinwheel to come around and fix themselves. I thought that was genius.
It was a play on you all.
Yeah, it was a play on you guys' mess up. You know, I saw that. I saw what you did there, and I appreciated that because I felt like you were talking to me while you were doing that.
It's like I got you.
Yeah, gotcha. I was actually in the stand, slap my knee. You guys, you know, so yeah. But totally, I was impressed with Talladega's presence, their sound, the fact that they came into the stadium, even though I don't think they came into the stadium to actually see the high school bands. They came into the stadium, and I think the high school bands appreciated the fact that they were there at least.
They had an agenda.
Right, oh yeah, they totally had an agenda.
So wait, FAMU only came for the field show?
Let me tell you, since we're segueing, do you mind?
Go ahead.
Do you mind?
Go ahead.
So now let's get to the whole drama of FAMU and Talladega. You know, on the BOGO flyer, it said that it was Talladega versus FAMU. You know, that kind of thing. So Talladega came ready for the... FAMU came and sat on the buses.
So they were literally just on the bus the whole time. Were they on time?
Were on time. They were there before it started because they were passing out information to all of the students in the bands, and they sat on the buses.
Well, you said it was hot, so...
They sat on the buses the entire time. Now, I know at some Battle of the Bands, you know... Well, Bethune-Cookman, they pulled the sit on the bus card because we genuinely only go to perform. Then after we perform, we hit the left face and we're gone. But that's what we do all the time. FAMU, besides the Florida Classic Battle of the Bands, I have always known them to come in and take a seat. There are clips of them sitting in the stands, playing in the stands at a Birmingham Battle of the Bands. There are pics of them playing in the stands at a Battle of the Bands in Miami when they're big and robust. But all of a sudden, it's just kind of weird that... they stayed on the bus.
But this was years ago.
Yeah, it was.
This was years ago. They have a brand new band director.
He's not brand new, because Mr. Dr. Shelby Chipman is still there, and I'm pretty sure behind the scenes he's still the man pulling the strings.
Well, I mean, maybe they read the flyer wrong and thought it was featuring Florida A&M. Maybe that's what happened.
Okay, all right.
And then you said it was hot, and they were in full uniform, right?
Yeah, they were in full uniform. Yeah.
Well, you know.
Right.
Maybe they had to go over the music, or
they go over the music, on the bus.
Yeah.
I never thought of that. That's good stuff. Yeah. Go through the music rehearsal on the bus. Why didn't I think of that?
Yeah.
I like that.
Because the whole 4-hour drive.
Okay.
So you want to sit on the bus another 2 hours after? Okay. Sure. Right.
Let's call a spade a spade. They knew that Talladega was coming to cause some trouble, and they knew that they were not going to be ready to defend themselves. That's what it was. So FAMU came with the agenda, just like they played the Cookman card. We're just going to come, do our recruiting, do our show, and we're just going to leave. We're not even going to pay Talladega any attention because we know they're gunning for us. Well, it didn't quite work out like that. It all started when Talladega was on the field. Talladega's announcer didn't even know FAMU was still beside the stands. They had gotten off the bus, but they didn't come out.
Okay.
Now, knowing old FAMU, whenever there's another band on the field, namely Bethune-Cookman at the Florida Classic, they will come out early, distract the people's attention from what's going on the field, surround the field while the other band is still on the field, and stand there. But this time they stayed beside the stands and waited for Talladega to get done. And Talladega's band director their announcer did the whole FAMU, you will never ever get on our level. And the crowd went nuts. They went up for it. They went up, So then FAMU comes on and does their show. And Joe Buller, he's probably one of the biggest trash talking announcers. He's very graceful with it. He's very classy with it.
He enunciates every
he
word.
does. He's like Morgan Freeman or something. But so
funeral.
right. So if FAMU had anything in their corner, it was good old Joe. So good old Joe decides to take some jabs back at Talladega, basically saying that we respectfully decline your invitation to try to get on your level. Now you may go find your seats and he said you may go back to your seats and find your parents.
Oh.
So okay, wait. Because I was wondering I'm not crazy. He was naming all the high schools. He was like, we would like to thank you for inviting us for this high school. Shout out to all the high schools here. And he went down the list and he said Talladega College. So I was like,
there was so much shade.
I knew I was not just making it up, and it was manifesting in my head. I was like, okay, so there was some shade.
Oh, there was so much shade. Gosh.
I knew I wasn't crazy.
There was so much shade. And then afterwards, so FAMU gets done with their whole show. And I can understand why they were doing the elongated show because they're trying to recruit. So they're trying to show off all the facets of their music program within their marching band. So they do march.
Flags? I didn't even know.
Yeah, they had 6 flags in the back.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they had 6 flags. So they did the march, they did the ballot, they did all that. They wanted to show off the diversity of the music program within that little time they had. It was a recruiting measure, so I get it. So they were coming off the field.
At the 20th minute and 43rd second of their show.
So look it up. 20 minutes and
43 seconds.
20 minutes and
43 seconds.
Look that up. And this happens. We're going to give you a second. Look at it.
the announcers introducing all of the Atlanta, all the homegrown people.
Wesley getting his little shout out and everything. Tyrus, I'm saying, okay, cool. And then all I hear is,
and all crap breaks loose. All crap breaks loose. In the middle, FAMU was still on the field. Talladega goes bananas.
And plays Caribbean Queen.
Oh my gosh. I mean, when I was in the stands, my mouth dropped to the floor because I've never seen anything like that before. Like, and let's just call a spade a spade. Talladega, you're lying if you're saying you weren't trying to be disrespectful. There are some people in Talladega's band saying, we thought they were done with the show. No, you didn't. You knew they were still on the field.
That last tuba had not did his little thing. Everybody knows when the last tuba has run, spin, and did his little split.
It was like 6 tubas left.
Well, okay, I'm going to stop you right there.
Okay, stop us right there.
You can't. We know. I've seen FAMU shows.
Even you have seen FAMU shows.
But I'm from Atlanta. I've seen tons of FAMU shows. But you can't just all of a sudden assume that everybody knows what FAMU's going to do.
But there were drums still being played.
There were still movements.
They were still on the field.
And the announcer was still talking.
If I were to not know and see that, I would just think that was a tunnel. Their show was done. So I would just think that was a tunnel.
26 minutes later.
It was 26 minutes later. Their show is done. And from what I understand, Talladega was told to play between everything.
You are good at this, Jerry.
And if the band, I mean, we all have marched for it. You know that there is a lag between when the band director turns around from the game, lifts up his arms and says, 1, 2, ready, play. So anything could have happened between that. And, you know, you can't just say that they should have known what FAMU was going to do.
You are
That's
so
not fair.
good at this, Jared.
That's not fair.
You make it sound so genuine that you're really fighting for this cause. I love it.
I love it. I'm just trying to
right.
fair.
He's got to be he's that guy.
But that's not fair.
It is fair. Everybody who's seen FAMU.
If you own it.
But you can't say that they didn't see the FAMU show.
If you will say we are Talladega Renegade Band of the South, we bucked down FAMU. They did not get off the bus. They didn't want to play us in the stands. They just didn't want no parts of it.
That's what it is. They were basically bullying them. It was a bully move. And what happened was, like she said, they knew they got off. Talladega got off the bus. I'm sorry, they got on the bus in Talladega with it in their mind that we are going to thrash FAMU. And FAMU decided to stay on the buses, and they were not here for that. You will face us, and you will face us right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to play right now before your show ends, and before you have the opportunity to march off.
And then they played Hotel California right after at the 26th mark.
And but see, and this now the fact that we've identified the fact that you guys are being bullies. Okay, now I can actually say I don't think it was wrong. And I know I'm going to catch a lot of flack for this.
It wasn't wrong.
You want to know why I think it's wrong? If it were any other band, I think it was wrong. But FAMU has been throwing their weight around and bullying other smaller bands for decades. Now the rooster is home to whatever that dumb saying is. I just messed up.
Right, or something.
Roast. It's like a roast or something. But now the tables have turned. How about that? Can we come with that generic saying? Well, now the tables have turned. Because for years, like I said before, for years, FAMU has done different intimidating type things to take attention away from whatever band is performing. South Carolina State was playing like God Bless America or something in the 5th quarter, and FAMU played right over it. And then, like I said before, there's times when Cookman has been on the field for Florida Classic, and they will purposely surround the field while Cookman is still doing their dance routine, just to show that they're the bigger or more superior band. Then there was times when I marched at Cookman, and FAMU has come on the field. Their drum majors are marching through our flags, and we're not even done yet.
Well, say that it wasn't wrong just because FAMU has always been a bully. That's not fair either, because 2 wrongs don't make a right.
Oh, now he's defending the latter.
I mean,
you pick a side.
2 wrongs don't make a right.
Pick one.
I'm just trying to be fair. 2 wrongs don't make a right. I think that Talladega was not wrong because I cannot say that they knew that they were going to. Because to me, if I had an untrained eye, that would be a tunnel to me. Tunnels are done off the field to yourself to get back into the stands.
Okay. All right, so this tunnel had already started before they decided to play. And in this tunnel, you can clearly see that the announcers still announcing and calling as each tuba person comes and does their jump and split. It's not like they're just now forming this tunnel. The tunnel had been made, and this action is clearly taking place. It should be quite clear at this moment that this is not a tunnel when Talladega started playing. So there should be no confusion.
The show was already 20 minutes.
Talladega said, we came down here to blow on y'all, and y'all not finna run away from us. And hey, it is what it is. And like I said, FAMU's been bullying other bands for a long time, and now it's just their turn. You don't take it.
I like Talladega.
I like Talladega.
I do too.
I actually wish now that I was there to see it, to see what. I just wanted to look.
My mouth dropped to the floor. Do you hear me?
I felt like it was like just like when y'all had the incident with the little boy almost got kicked. He got pushed. And so people were sitting there like, oh. I know this just
right. Yeah.
I know he didn't just. I feel like the exact same thing happened when they heard them play. I'm pretty sure one of the drum majors was like,
right.
But he had to be cool.
Like,
had to pull the whole we are poised.
Yeah.
We are classy. And
like, they didn't have a choice.
Talladega said, listen,
no,
we ain't got no home training.
They Kanye'd them. I hate to interrupt this, but I hate to interrupt this 26 minutes, but Talladega is the best band alive.
So if you think, well, this was called a battle, who won?
Between what?
Talladega and FAM.
It's hard.
No, it's not. It
is hard because
what?
It's hard simply because this is my perception. Talladega, first of all, got off the bus. That's the first step. They got off the bus and they entertained the crowd throughout the entire show.
Okay, well, if you just judge on the field show.
Just on the field show. Now, this is the reason why I say it's hard because FAMU, like I said before, it was more entertaining. They engaged the crowd. They played songs that the crowd could sing to, yada, yada, yada. However, Talladega was entertaining as well, just with sheer power alone and their sheer size. And like I said,
they're bigger than. Okay, that's not.
Yeah, they're huge. Jeez, they're huge. So I can't. It's hard. It kind of depends on your taste.
FAMU was sitting on it, but it's like Rosa Parks talking about something. No,
we ain't moving. We ain't moving
nowhere.
Hush that fuss. We ain't moving.
So how did
the promoter said, FAMU, we need you off the bus.
Nah.
Were they also, or do you know, were they also given the same instruction to play or FAM? Were they also given that same instruction?
I'm pretty sure. I mean, okay, if you're a collegiate band at a event like this, playing in the stands is not uncommon.
It's not uncommon. It's not uncommon for the high schools to play.
It's, you know, it gets the time going. And then, from my understanding, all the bands didn't even show, so they had plenty of time.
Plenty of time. Talladega played like at least.
And all the clips we saw,
songs.
they were like I said, I'm here for Talladega. I just want we to fix that through the fire.
Yeah.
So they need more discipline in their playing, as far as dynamics are.
I think it's a choice, honestly. The only thing is, I think we wouldn't talk about Talladega if they didn't keep doing stuff like this. I'm just saying. Like, if you
but you said they sounded good.
No, they don't. On all the other clips, they sounded awesome. But then they threw in the monkey wrench where we got to sit here and just like.
Sometimes it's hard to change stuff like, or some marching bands. I don't want to put that on everybody, but some marching bands, their style is power, power, power. And so when it comes to ballads, they're not the best at ballads because when it comes to phrasing, things like phrasing, which makes ballads great, and you're destroying phrasing for the sake of power, then you know that's where that comes from. And there are other bands that have that problem too. Alabama State, you know what I'm saying?
Well, you had two completely different bands because you said that. You said that FAM.
What's going on here? What's that?
You mentioned her favorite school.
Oh, okay.
You said that FAM had amazing. They played the slow song amazingly, and they played that march.
Right.
Then you have Talladega that has admittedly stated that we don't like to play marches. Or
no.
That's spokesperson boy.
Yeah, a student said something about marches. However, I will, to their credit, the first thing Talladega did when they came in was they played a march. in the stands before they went completely nuts and balls to the wall. They played a march.
How did that sound?
It sounded good. It sounded pretty decent, and I was from the back, so I couldn't hear all the dynamics and things like that. But from what I heard, it sounded good.
But if it sounded good from the back, man.
Yeah, but see, sometimes you can't hear the stuff, you know, like if you're right in front of them,
you hear all that.
You see, because I'm getting bounce off sound.
Well, I heard all the clips.
Okay,
the clips are awesome.
Did you hear the march? I didn't see the march.
I didn't see it.
I don't think any cameras were out by then because that was like the first thing they did when they first got in the stands. They played a march, you know.
I mean, Jerry, you act like you're gonna put Hampton in front of them and play Flight of the Bumblebee. Don't do it. Just stop. Stop coming for Talladega.
I'm not coming for Talladega.
So let's ask this.
I'm not coming for Talladega at all. And if Hampton wanted to play Flight of the Bumblebee, they can. I didn't play it when I marched there.
You played cymbals.
Samantha!
Did they play Flight of the Bumblebee at A&M, Alabama?
Yes.
Really? How did that sound?
You can go look up our clips.
I will. I would love to look it up.
Alabama Agricultural and Mechanical University.
I would love to look that up.
Okay, so why do you guys, and this will be our last question of the show because I'm sure we're probably like pretty much over time. Why do you think people give Talladega a hard time?
Because they don't do things the same way that they did things.
What?
Talladega is new. Talladega does what they want to. They are the renegades of the marching band world, and they don't care. They don't want to do things the way they don't want to do things the way you did things in your band. And I love it.
I think it's just slick hate because honestly,
it is.
If you think about it, this school that has no football team
has
this huge. This band is huge. Like they're bigger than most of the college bands that we are looking at. So what they're doing something differently that other directors are not doing to recruit. I mean, it's Talladega. Have you ever been to Talladega, Alabama?
Yeah, that's what we were saying. I think there's like 700 kids at the entire college. And
that's the city.
Like half of them are in the band.
So it's like, literally.
Yeah,
so
like
it's
half of them in the band.
There's something going on that people want to be in this program. They get to travel. They get to go and see all these schools that they probably see. Tennessee State, although they have a football team, they don't get to see all these schools because they have a strict schedule that they go by. Tell them, you know what? Book them.
Yeah.
They can go see a Southern. They can go see a Gremlin. They can go see a Texas Southern.
They can go see a fam.
They can go see a fam. They did go see a fam. They saw about a fam.
Oh my God.
So I'm saying they can go and do all these things that the other bands have these restrictions to do, and I think people have an issue with that.
Yeah. I can be honest. I felt really bad for FAMU at first, you know, because I was like, well, they're really getting bullied right now, and it's to the point to where Talladega is like they're forcing themselves down FAMU's throat. FAMU tried, I don't want it. Get away. No, I don't want it. And Talladega was pretty much, I'm here. I'm going to shove myself down your throat and make you digest my presence.
Respect me.
Yeah, I'm going to make you respect me type thing. So I was like, you know, you can't just bully people and make people face you if they don't want to face you. But then I thought about all that other stuff, you know, that FAMU was doing. But with that being said, it's probably... Do you think that type of attitude is going to deter other bands from wanting to be in the same battle of the bands as them? Do you think that's going to give them a negative light? Because say I'm a promoter. Say I want to get Tennessee State and Talladega to come to a battle of the bands, but Tennessee State says I don't want to be anywhere with them because they're not classy and they're not a part. They're not up to the
they're not aristocratic.
Yeah, they're not up to the standards of, you know, marching bands, and they're renegades, and I just want no parts of them. So then, as a promoter, do you say, well, I don't want Talladega then, and I'll just get Tennessee State and another band?
But you know what's crazy? Because this is Talladega's, what, second year?
Third
year?
They were so kind as to correct us repeatedly after that first video.
Oh. Well, I didn't know about you 2 years ago. So.
Yeah, I just
but they have... They're a popular band.
Yeah.
For even if it's for just their little semantics that they do, they're popular.
Yeah. They're like Paris Hilton.
Yeah.
Or Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
Like
Kim Kardashian. You know?
So it's like, okay, as a promoter, you can look at it as like, I'm going to get Talladega because I know people will want to see them. And I know that they're going to be YouTube clips.
And I know that they're going to play during the whole Battle of the Bands and not stay on the bus.
They're not going to be pretty sedity. They're going to be out there in the sun.
You're going to get your money's worth.
So they may pull a Talladega as opposed to one of these better known bands because they know they're going to get their money's worth. Talladega, see, and it's another thing. They're not to up here where
Right.
they can feel like they don't have to do certain things.
Right. You're right. You're right.
We're here to entertain. How you entertaining on the bus?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, maybe that's why they put on that 26-minute show.
No.
They were going over music.
And then that guy, and I hope he's okay. You know, I knew they were going to get him.
What?
A guy limped off the field who's from FAMU. He limped off the field and took a seat. Ironically, right in front of Talladega's band. I said, "This is going to be meme central. They are going to destroy this kid."
Social media is
It's
horrible.
terrible. No, he was just a regular student. Like he limped off the field, and then he went and sat down. Like, I mean,
And there's so many memes.
and I knew they were going. As soon as he came off the field, first of all, he came off in front of Dega. So I knew he was going to be.
You could have went way over there.
Right. Man, I'm sorry. I would have held that. Whatever was going on, I would have held it to the end. I would not have gotten off in front of that bad.
Poor child.
So just shout out to that kid. I hope you're genuinely okay, because I know you are the spotlight of ridicule at this moment. So we're just going to hold hands and sing Kumbaya and hope that you're actually okay.
While they're doing these meetings.
Right.
He have internal everything going on.
He could be in the hospital.
Right. Now making memes about the boy.
Right.
Good grief.
Gee, so
he pulled something marching.
right. So we here at Bedroom Nation, we just want you to know that we care.
So do you think that fam can bounce back from this? Because
They'll bounce back from this, but the real question is, do you think they'll bounce back to regular fam? Because there are some people who say they don't think so after that performance.
Should they go back to regular fam?
That's a whole nother show.
I don't have 26 minutes right now.
Right.
So,
Oh
but
my God.
FAMU did an awesome job.
They did. They were entertaining.
They were entertaining.
They were very
And
entertaining.
What
Not
we
taking
do,
anything away from them.
We entertain. That's what we do.
Yep.
I wanted, I don't know, I'm used to.
You weren't filled.
You feel a void.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. And once, if fam gets back to that, or maybe if those kids that are there, they find themselves and they make it that, then it's fine. But
Yeah.
I just feel like that should have been more. It should have sounded like more. It should have felt like more. It should have just been more exciting.
Yeah. Oh.
Have anything to say?
Okay, well, so that's our wrap up of this past weekend's events. I told you a lot went on last weekend, and we just had to have a special show especially for that. Oh my gosh. So much like fun, so much hilarity. Just, oh my gosh. I guess if you want to comment on it, please feel free to comment under our YouTube channel on the comments area and say what you think about it. And I'm sure you will. This week, I guess we'll be the enemy of, I guess, FAMU. Will the hate come from FAMU this week? I don't know.
But we didn't say anything.
We rarely do say anything offensive. But, people are really serious and in their feelings when it comes to this web series, and then they say they don't care about us, but they don't watch it, but I'm seeing the views and I'm seeing you share it. I'm like, hey, that's that guy who said this it was like his hairline is but he shared it. And now his friends are watching it. Yeah, we see that. We see you sharing the video. So stop trying to floss. But anyway, we're just happy to be here.
He said floss.
I know, is this the 90s? What did I just do?
No flex.
Did I just step out of a DeLorean or something? I'm sorry for that. I really do apologize. Anyway, that's all for now here at Halftime and Showtime. We're signing off. Once again, I'm Linnell.
I'm Jared.
I'm Samantha.
And this has been another episode of Halftime is Showtime.
Bye, Felicia.
Oh, yeah. Get connected. Bedroom Nation on Instagram, Bedroom Nation on Facebook, BedroomNation.com, and look up the hashtag Vanguard BRN to get more information and posts and all kinds of awesome stuff about that, alright?
And if you want to find us on Instagram, you can.
What's your Instagram?
Sam Jolina Jolie.
Jardoism, JARDOISM.
And then I am Napoleon _complex with 2 X's, please not 3, on Instagram. Once again, that's Napoleon _complex with 2 X's on the end, alright?
But definitely follow the Bedroom Nation Instagram.
Oh, yeah,
they
please.
run contests and they have a lot of fun on there.
Yeah, it's awesome. And once again, like the page on Facebook, alright? That's how you get all the free stuff and information about Vanguard. So, hope to see you there, and we're really signing off this time.
Bye, Felicia.
Alright.